A 6-month-old was shot and killed around the corner from my mom's apartment. And in the middle of the day, and people in my industry had put together a fund to bail out the rioters of these riots across the country. And it hit me. What am I being quiet for?
Yeah.
To be around those types of people that are putting my mother at risk?
Yeah.
I didn't know where it would go. I just knew I was done. I've had friendships over those last 3 years that have been stronger than people that I went to junior high with because I came out as a conservative and a Trump supporter that disappeared on me like that. People that I thought were my brothers disappeared on me like that. I'm watching Trump and Trump administration. I'm like, this is a good thing, but I'm in Hollywood. I'm watching people lose their mind. Knowles. You gotta.
Come say hi.
Come on in.
Come say hi.
What's up?
Hate to interrupt.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dylan. Nice to meet you, man. Media trained, bro.
I met Wayne Brady at this SAG event a while back, and it was like four of us standing and talking in the parking lot. And I don't know why he did. He just kind of like, because he was so used to doing it. The woman sitting next to him, as me and my buddy were talking, he was like, da-da-da-da. He started talking, and he's like, da-da-da-da. Oh, what?
Yeah, because he's in like,
because he's
it's
used
a
to the carpet.
stage. Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's used to the carpet where he's talking to someone, and they go, Wayne. So like that.
He just
turned to us,
locked
dude.
in.
It
Yeah.
was so funny.
This is my face is like, I'm not. I need to work on it a little bit. I think right now. I want to start way back with you because I got connected with you just because of my conversation with Kyle Mann.
You actually got connected with me. You heard about me with Kyle, but you got connected because you and your boy just came up and said hi.
Right. So I met you yesterday.
Awesome. I like that.
You have been the kindest.
No, come on.
No. Like the kindest, most authentic person I've met at this event. When you grind on a show, you have 30 people listen to you.
Yeah.
And you put episode in, you meet someone that, connects us with people I have no business meeting with, and inviting me to hang out last evening and inviting me to another opportunity tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, seriously, man, like that's life-changing opportunities. And I just want to say I appreciate you a lot.
Well, dude, you got it, man. I'll be honest with you, the way I look at it is like one of the biggest kind of hurdles that we have on the conservative side, especially media, is that not only do we not know each other, but some of the simplest moves that we can do to help a channel like yours, and then now I feel like we should look at it like this, because you're in Detroit, right?
Yes, sir.
And so instead of having just Joe Rogan or just Turning Point in Arizona or whoever one else over here, or Gutfeld, in New York, why not have a bunch? And why not open that up? Because not only does it open you up, and it opens up the Detroit culture and market, then it opens me up to the Detroit culture and market. And then we can sit there and it bounces off. So we actually then help to spread the culture of conservatism faster and more authentically than pumping a bunch of money into one person or even one group to get everywhere.
And one audience, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's like the Turning Point's great, but yet they can't be everywhere all the time.
Right.
So we need to have other voices. That's why this thing is so big, because everyone comes to connect and then go back out with their webs more intact. Honestly, what I'm doing for you is stuff that I would want people to do for me, and stuff some people have done for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I get a handshake with someone, I'm like, wow, if I meet someone who's grinding, who has a heart for this, why would I not, if possible, direct them over there? Doesn't mean that connection is going to do anything or not, or do a bunch of stuff or not do anything. But at the best of what I can do is go, because I'll tell you this, and hopefully, and tell this to your audience, man. When I was canceled from Hollywood for my belief, it wasn't, I had no idea where I was going to go. My skill set was in acting and entertainment. I wasn't a big fan of trying to start a YouTube channel from scratch, knowing I was on the Secretary of State censorship list since 2020, and I was going to be suppressed the entire time. And I'm like, I've been working my butt off just to get on, like, the one line on a television show, like, just that thing alone is something that was busting my butt. Now to look in here, it was really disheartening, and so for me, because I saw that something was very consistent, which is the Lord was trying to say something to me and trying to like really bring me closer to Him. So all I did was like, look, I'm just going to lean more towards the Lord and see what comes in that. And I've watched Him open up doors that it took me at least 10 years in Hollywood just to get into a place where I'm like, okay, now my career can get going. And within 3 years, Within 3 years. I think also as part of my story, he was preparing me to be in this situation with all the stuff I went through before. But within 3 years, I'm working with Daily Wire. I've worked with PragerU. I've worked with Babylon Bee.
You're on the Dylan England show.
I'm on the Dylan England show finally.
Right.
So it's like these just to honestly, and I love this because I think connection is the key. And if we can connect like this, even if you're just starting out, I feel like I'm just starting out in this world. But we can now open it up, and then we can create. Because I've had friendships over this last 3 years that have been stronger than people that I went to junior high with because I came out as a conservative and a Trump supporter that disappeared on me like that. People that I thought were my brothers disappeared on me like that, and now to be close to people where it's like the most I have to offer is maybe a friendly conversation and hey, go say hi to that guy.
Yeah.
But like I'm not bringing in a bunch of money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have a huge following, so that's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's like the best thing we can do is just connect and hopefully build this friendship up, and that will then continue to build on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you're always one relationship away from meeting that person that you can help each other grow. I mean, Trevor and I talk about it all the time because he works in the YouTube space. I do podcasting. We're bringing each other up.
Yeah, exactly.
High
tide rises all boats.
And that's the beautiful thing with you, man. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
that's good. All right, and goodbye. No.
All right, that was it. 8 minutes. See you guys. So I know not enough about your story.
Okay.
I know that you were a Hollywood actor. I know that you were involved and your life completely changed with January 6th. And then I know that now God has used those trials as opportunities to give you new, complete experiences that you wouldn't have had otherwise. But I'd love to talk to you about acting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about your Hollywood story. Why did you want to act? How did you get into it? And then we can kind of in hopefully 20 minutes transition into where you're at now.
Well, so it's really funny because I think I've always been somewhat of a performer. And it started out, I remember junior high, I took a drama class and it was I was really into it. I stopped my 8th grade year. I did a play, Hans Christian Andersen, a musical.
Okay.
Never done a play or a musical before. I went out for the lead role of Hans. That was back before race swapping was as big as it is now. So I was Hans.
Okay.
I was Hans Christian Andersen, and I did musical, and
Nice.
I loved it. And I went away from it in high school because my older brother got full ride to play college football. And so 5th grade, I was like, oh, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So in high school, I didn't do anything with theater. I was like, I'm going to be football, wrestling, track. So I did, wrestle for conditioning for football, run track for speed for football to get me there, right? So then I went to college. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to the University of Iowa. It was my 3rd year there, right? So you have a red shirt and then your first true freshman and then your sophomore year. So it was my 3rd year there. I was like, all right. So it was my 3rd year. I got 2 more years left. I got to figure this thing out.
Right.
I was like, well, I love history and I love kids. So history teacher. And I was taking nothing but history classes one semester. The second semester, I was like, okay, I got all these history classes where the only pictures in the books are on the cover. So I was like, let me get something that's going to be a lot less reading, something I can just kind of hang out with. I was like, oh, those theater classes were kind of cool, and when you have to take the kind of prereqs that are just a bunch of crap you're not going to use.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let me take that. So I opened up the book for theater department, and I was like, and I stopped on a class called Black Action Theater.
Nice.
And so I was like, oh, I think this is easy. I'm going to be watching Blade 1 and 2, Action Jackson. I was like, this is going to be easy, right? And so I get into the class, and the day before the class, one of my buddies who became friends in that summer, we're sitting at the bar, and he's like, oh, well, I got to go. I got class tomorrow. I was like, oh, I got class tomorrow. What do you got? I was like, oh, I got this acting class. I was like, I got to get this acting class. Black Action Theater. I was like, I got to go. It's cool. I got a homie. It's going to be fun. So we go into the class, and, we're just sitting in the room, and walks in this 6'2" black dude from New York who was super, super artsy. He had, a V-neck down to here with a leather vest over it, with one earring with a feather, with a cargo camouflage pants and a fedora similar to this. And he walks in. He's like, yo, welcome to Black Action Theater. He's like, all right, this is a class right here. I know some of you guys aren't actors or writers, but you're gonna work. You're gonna write your own scripts. I was like, ow.
And you're like,
I was like, I took a class where I didn't have to write or read. What's going on? He's like, you're gonna perform your own stuff. This is gonna be great. Direct your own people. Da. So as the class was going on, as the semester was going on, it started becoming the first time, including from football, including I had decent grades from B's and up, just my whole academic career.
Sure.
But it was more because I could just memorize pretty easy. I could look at it and be like, all right. And so I'm in there, and it was the first time the preparation. I love the preparation as much as the final product. Right? I love playing the game. I love just wrestling. I love the actual track meet, but I didn't like practice. We're talking about practice, man.
Right. Talk about practice.
And so I love the process. I love reading the script and then being like, okay, what can I, who's this character? How can I get into it as a character? And then how can I bring it out so that you believe what you're seeing from me? And I did this one for our semester final. We did this two-person scene. The girl in it and I had to kiss. The girl was the starting running back's girlfriend. I was backup, so he was starting running back's girlfriend, so I had to kiss her. He came to that thing, so I had to kiss her in front of him. It was crazy. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. I love this. I love all of what this is. So as soon as that semester ended, I poured everything into acting. I was like, this is what I'm going to do.
It clicked.
And I just jumped everything. I was doing plays left and right. I was taking these classes, reading about the history of acting and everything. And then I went back home to Chicago in March of 2004, was there for the summer. And I got a guy I went to college with who I didn't know, reached out to me randomly and was like, hey, are you Siaka who used to dance on the bar when I was too loaded and all that stuff? I was like, yeah, why? He goes, I have a short. I want you to be in it. I'll fly you out. I was like, okay. So it's called The Fourth. If you find it on YouTube, I think it's on YouTube somewhere.
We'll find it.
You put a clip in there?
Yeah, we'll find it. Our team will dig.
I'll send it to you. And so I flew out to LA. It was an amazing experience. And I came back home and I was like, wow. I was talking to my big brother, who I met from Big Brother, Big Sister, who I've known since I was 7. He was like, so what's going on? What do you need? I was like, I just need I think I need $2,500 and that's it. He goes, that's it? I was like, yeah, I'm going to save up for that. He goes, I'll give that to you. I'm like, uh-oh. So my timetable moved up like this. So I took off and left in October. I landed in Hollywood on October 17th of 2004. And man, I got caught up because I was still from college. I developed alcoholism. And so that was alcohol. The two major traps I think men deal with are women and drugs, if you will, right? And so I got caught up in alcohol and women because as a football player in college, both of those are readily available, right? So I took that over to Hollywood life. Now I'm in a place where, drinking on the job is part of being an actor, and getting caught up in higher drugs is part of being an actor in Hollywood. So I got caught up in that, and there was a few. My successes were more hit and miss, up and down. But it wasn't until 2016, March 15th, the Ides of March, I walked into a room of recovery, and from then on, it was like, Knowles, you gotta.
Come say hi.
Come on in.
Come say hi.
What's up?
Hate to interrupt.
Hey, I'm Dylan. Nice to meet you, man.
Dylan said you need to be on his show, but we'll see. We'll see. Are you going back over there? Or are you done? Yeah, we're gonna do it tonight. Yeah.
He invited us actually. Yeah, we'll see you there. He invited us.
Dude, so good to see you as always.
See you, Michael. Bye.
That's so cool. That was a good interruption.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
We'll let that one slide.
We will, because he messed with my time. I got to make sure I get my full time here I'm supposed to get.
Yes, exactly. Freaking Michael. Michael.
So. That's so great. Again, we went from the beginning of this within 3 years, I'm now with the number one conservative media company in the country and possibly the world. It's all God, because I know it's not. I didn't tinker it enough. But yeah, I ended up getting sober in 2016. Before I walked in the room, literally, a friend of mine from high school, I was staying in his sunroom on an air mattress, and every morning, because there's a little drain, I would literally wake up on the floor because the air mattress would drain. I'm like, I gotta change my life around. So I go back into the rooms, and everything changed there. When I walk back into the rooms, I see that acting teacher that I saw on day one.
No.
He was sitting in there, he was like, and he had an empty seat right next to me. He goes, what's up? Right here. I saw this girl that I met 2 months earlier at a party. It was like all football stuff and everything going on. It was all Chicago stuff, Chicago football, Chicago hockey, and Chicago basketball. It was all at the same time. And I actually offered her a whole thing of whiskey. She's like, oh, no, I'm sober. I was like, oh, yeah, I tried that. I passed, So,
I could be if I wanted
to.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of sitting over the way going like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to be here.
Yeah.
And so, it has all changed when I got sober. And at the same time, ironically, I also was, Trump was running for office. And going into that September, because that was March 15th, and then going into that September, I with that director, or with that acting coach, who now was my director, we took it to the National Black Theater Festival. We did a play called Dutchman by Amiri Baraka, 2-person play, where the last part of the whole thing is a 4-page monologue, which I had to do. Oh, I loved it. It was like, I was like, I'm going to show people I can do this, right? And that night, the first night we were there, we landed, we got in, they had a nice little gift basket on my bed, and that night was the first debate. So I was like, let me see what this guy's about. Let me see what this Trump guy's about.
The Don.
And this guy, it was to watch what he did. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to support this guy just because he is he's so different from all of them. Left, right, he was different than the career politicians that we sat there and saw, giving you the crap, line.
The Jeb Bushes and everything.
And I watched it, and he said something that I was like, I'm backing this guy. They asked about the healthcare issue, right? Like, the left wants to do universal health care, and what do you guys say? Did I go, no, it'll ruin the country. So it was like the talking points from both sides was the same. And then Trump goes, I have a simple solution. He goes, you put healthcare on the open market and you let the market decide. I was like, they're going to try to kill him. Mm-hmm. Literally, I said, I shit you not, I said that at that moment. I go, they're going to try to kill this guy because he's actually proposing real solutions that could work.
Yeah. Well, and money, and solutions that will take away money.
Take away money, exactly. So, that's kind of, so from the acting out, that's how I moved over. Now, at that point, so 2016, I'm in that play. Everything changed for my career where I started doing stuff. That 2017, I didn't even have to audition. I got a Facebook message from a producer of a movie that was shooting in my family's home country of Liberia. That it's called Providence Island, and they were looking. She was like, "We'd love to cast you as one of the leads." So I in 2017, got to fly back to Liberia for the first time as an adult and shoot a movie about the history of the country, playing an indigenous person, which really could have been any of my ancestors.
Right.
It blew my mind where I'm sitting there in the church that my grandfather was the main pastor of, with his name on the wall to do my biggest scene. Blow my mind. I start taking his acting class. Next thing you know, I'm booking television shows left and right. I'm booking commercials left and right. And for an actor in Hollywood, you get commercial work that sustains you for the TV or movie, right? And so now I'm just working. I'm just doing it, but at the same time, I'm watching Trump and Trump administration. I'm like, this is a good thing, but I'm in Hollywood. I'm watching people lose their minds. I'm working with a brother of one of the top actors in the last 20 years. I'm working with him on a script, and he's losing his mind. His family's losing their mind. All this stuff's happening over and over. And I'm like, this is weird. And the thing that was crazy, the things they would say around me because of my skin color, some of the grossest things they'd say about people, that I'm sitting there going, you don't hear yourself. And there are things they were technically saying about my best friend, who's half white, half Hispanic, that I've known since I was 17. My other buddy, who's a Nigerian guy, who's a hardcore Trump supporters. And I'm like, I'm listening to these guys, and they've been saying this stuff over and over. And it got to the point where in 2020, shutdown happened, and that first month was glorious because LA was quiet, and you can get everywhere in 20 minutes. Then after that, you turn to kind of seeing the grift, the hoax. And then the summer of love happened, right? I put love in quotes. And my mom was living on the south side of Chicago at the time, off like 56th, I think it was. And, people were getting killed midday, kids, anywhere between 6 months to 19 years old, shot and killed middle of the day. A 6-month-old was shot and killed around the corner from my mom's apartment. And in the middle of the day, and people in my industry have put together a fund to bail out the rioters of these riots across the country. And it hit me. What am I being quiet for?
Yeah.
To be around those types of people that are putting my mother at risk?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know where it would go. I just knew I was done. I was done being quiet, and I was done being afraid that they may find out enough. I feel like God's given me a voice. People resonated with me when I'd go to rallies and speak. I'm like, I think I need to do this. So I just started kind of going hard in the paint, from there. And And the funny thing is, I started doing a sketch comedy group called What the Fact, and we started with that whole like "You Ain't Black" thing by Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And we've been together for years, and we did about 2 years of sketches worth, and then I started doing the Babylon Bee stuff. Now we're Daily Wire. But before 2020, my acting was known as dramatic. I was just doing dramatic stuff, and I never really thought I could do comedy. Right? And now
I feel like
I'm
that's a
doing
thing,
comedy.
though. I
Yeah.
feel like I've heard that before, that some of the best comedy actors started in drama. I feel like that's...
some of the best comedy actors can be dramatic, because what I learned about comedy is that comedy is so specific. And what I was doing for my drama, and drama can be too, but what I was doing was I was kind of being, I was being a little kind of soft with it. Like the moment I could get to, but leading up to the moment was just kind of like going along.
Whatever.
Whereas in comedy, everything is the
matters.
moment. Yes,
Right.
And so,
because everything's either the setup, everything,
or the punchline.
Right.
Right. And
Exactly.
so I had to. So then I was taking that to my dramatic work. And so my class I took was from a guy who did a lot of sitcom comedies.
Yeah.
But he would break down everything, and so we would do drama, we would do, and so I was like, oh man, I can bring this into my dramatic work, and it would come alive even more, And so I started doing this stuff, and it was lethargic, right? Because we were making fun of the ridiculousness around us. So I was able to express what was going on, but it also it opened up a whole new avenue of performance for me, and it's been really cool to be able to do that.
And now you're Daily Wire.
Yeah. I'm Black Jeremy.
There we go.
For Jeremy's Razors. So if you haven't seen it, check out Daily Wire Black Jeremy's Razors. It's really awesome. So is the product, and so are the cigars.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What's the next thing? I think we're gonna hop on a separate pod sometime. I
Yeah.
want to get more details on the
We're gonna
J6
get on
stuff.
this, yeah.
But for right now, what are you hoping to accomplish with the Daily Wire stuff? Like, what's your next passion?
Well, my next, it's not a
If
next
that makes
passion.
sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's not my next passion. It's my current passion,
Yeah.
because we talked about the conservative connecting and all that stuff. What I saw with starting at those rallies and people coming up to me, and I would hear, man, I like the way you say things. I think these, but I can't, and it's hard for me to put it together. What I would want to do is hopefully with who I am and how I can do, I ran for local office. I ran for state assembly in 22 in California. I've been out there doing speeches as an activist. I'm an actor that can do drama. I've been doing comedy.
Yeah.
I want to write a book. I want to show people, I want to show the conservatives, you're more than what the one thing you do.
Yes.
That's really my passion. To go like, you can be multifaceted, and you can have a passion and do that on the side and give that to the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer, the parable about the gifts, right? The
Yes.
gifts that give one guy one gift, give the other guy like a bunch of gifts. So one guy with one gift was so jealous of that guy, he didn't do anything with his gifts. I heard this video on Instagram once that the gifts given to us aren't for us. They're for others. And so if I can present myself in this multitude of ways, it's not just for me to be able to make as much money as possible, rise to start, whatever that is. No, it's for me to go, hey, man, there was a couple young men over here I was talking to that were in college, and I'm like, hey, you should go out and do modeling while you're building your business.
Right.
Because you get to show this is what conservatism and republicanism is about. It's not this stale, old, stuffy, doesn't get it, what's going on type of person. You're fun, you're engaging, you're all these things. And if I can show just a little bit of that to give people permission to, I really kind of believe that's part of the gifts that God has given me to be able to do that, not hide at home. Because I could sit at home and it'd just be fine, but that's my overall
But I think that's
passion.
been conservatives the past 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Is they've sat at home, we've been
They waited.
reactive, not proactive.
Yes.
And I've said this on pretty much almost a lot of the people I've talked to, but we need more sane people talking, not less sane people talking.
Well, and also if they can see, I said it to those kids, I go, walk around with your chest up. Be proud of who you are. And as conservatives, we need to be that. And if we're Christians on this, and this is something I honestly, I'd like to go in on Christians, because I think when I wasn't a Christian looking in, I thought it was weak. I thought Christians are just weak, and that's why you lose, because you're weak. And what I heard from this one guy, Nabib, who was a Muslim that converted to Christianity, he thought when he went to junior high and the kids, his mom was preparing him to defend their scripture. When no one came up to him and talked to him about the gospel, which we are told to do in every gospel at the end, Jesus says, go and preach the word to all nations, to the four-legged. He said, either they didn't believe in the gospel or they didn't care about my soul. And so as Christians, we can move in this space and we can we're not perfect like Jesus, so we can stumble.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
Well, you can be real and you can be authentic,
real.
absolutely.
And like I have mistakes I've done.
We don't need to pretend we're perfect, because none of us are.
None of us are. So at the very best, all I can do is when I mess up, say I'm sorry, and then try to work to remedy the issue. That's it. That's really all you can do.
Yeah.
And I give it up to the Lord because that's it. So if anyone else is going to judge me on it, that's on them, man. Because, whether Daily Wire comes and goes or PragerU comes and goes, or any of those big companies come and go, I'm still going to be someone out there trying to get a message out of go out there and get it, guys. Go out there and delve into those things that you may just see as hobbies and see where it can go, because it's going to fuel your soul, but more importantly, it's going to help someone else out there to encourage them to do more.
So how can people support you, brother? Give any shout-outs that you want.
Yeah, well, I still have my case. The J6 are still going. The court date is January 21st. Yeah. So the judge won't continue the case, but it is what it is. If anyone wants to help out, you can go to defendsiaka.com. That's defend, SIAKA.com. Follow me on X at _Siaka Massaquoi, MASSAQUOI. And watch me over at Daily Wire as Black Jeremy and other stuff. Check out Lady Ballers. I got some stuff in the works. So
Babylon B movie,
January 6th, and also Vindicating Trump. So I'm in that as well. Check it out, and I hope you enjoy and give hope to your artists that think they have to be liberal to be artists. They don't.
There you go. Awesome, brother. Thank you for coming to the show.
Yes.
We'll do round 2 sometime.
Round two in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. Appreciate you, man. All right, see you, bro.
He was like, what?
Oh, no. Thank you.
I'm
You're
saying
awesome,
he's
man.
the man.
You're awesome, man.